is Matthew Kilgore, and I will be talking about piracy. Now, as some of you may know, I can be difficult to understand. Consequently, I have pre-recorded the commentary for my sides. Let's first clarify what piracy is. Piracy is the downloading and redistributing of software which you have not been granted a license to use. That definition probably sounds strange to you. You don't need a license to play a video game, right? In fact, if you read a typical EULA, you do. When you buy a piece of software, you're buying a license to use the software, not the actual application. Because of US copyright laws, if you own the actual software, you should legally redistribute it as much as you want. Obviously, this license system isn't perfect. However, it does beg a few questions. Namely, why is piracy so prevalent? How important of an issue is it? To gain some insight into these questions, we'll look at 3 different topics: piracy from a microeconomic perspective, piracy from a statistical perspective, and the effects of piracy. A microeconomic analysis of general software piracy is not feasible to do. However, because we're looking at video games specifically, we can simplify things. Namely, we can limit our analysis to the market for any single game. You don't pirate random games, you pirate Mass Effect or StarCraft. Now, the market for a single game will only have one supplier. That is, the market will be a monopoly. It's a well-documented fact that monopolies will set prices in an inefficient manner. The price of the good in question will be too high and the quantity produced too low. This strongly hints at a cause for piracy. It simply fills the shortage a monopoly causes. Unfortunately, this analysis can do nothing but hint at a cause. It has one critical flaw. Namely, games have an infinite supply. There's no real concept of quantity for a piece of software. In economics, we call a game a non-scarce good. Scarcity is a core assumption of microeconomics. Consequently, our analysis will have to stop here. If we cannot determine the precise cause of software piracy, we can at least look at the factors correlated with piracy rates. Luckily, this research has already been completed. A 2004 paper from the ACM found a negative correlation between piracy rates and GDP per capita. This is to be expected. The less wealthy are less able to afford software. The paper also found a positive correlation between piracy rates and the country's collectivism index. Intuitively, this index is a measure of how interdependent the people of a country are. According to the paper, This is also expected. These results were again confirmed by a 2006 ACM paper, which also found a correlation between piracy rates and the country's corruption index. Both papers also found that economics alone do not explain piracy rates. There is a large cultural aspect as well. Now we have a relatively clear idea of the causes of piracy. This raises our final question: what are the effects of piracy? While much research has occurred in this area, most has been funded by software companies. These papers estimate the cost of piracy on the economy to be in the billions. These numbers are relatively valid, but they include a number of indirect costs, such as time lost removing malware attached to pirated copies. Among non-sponsored papers, The Authority on Piracy is a 1995 paper from the Journal of Marketing. While admittedly a bit dated, the paper examines spreadsheet and word processor piracy. It did find something remarkable. Namely, the paper estimated that 80% of legal purchases were in some way caused by the software's piracy. The pirated copies led to additional word of mouth exposure. To clarify, the paper doesn't claim that piracy is in any way a good thing. However, it does suggest that piracy can be used to a company's benefit. Moreover, it severely undercuts the argument that a pirated copy is a lost sale. Let's quickly review the microeconomic causes of piracy are hard to determine. This is because software is not a scarce good. That being said, we know piracy is more prevalent in less well-off countries, both economically and politically. Finally, companies can leverage piracy in a beneficial manner. I hope this 5-minute overview of piracy has taught you something.